Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host who loves to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have today? Well, it's certainly the S&P 500 down 48, Dow off 505, NASDAQ down 115, the Russell 2000 down 33. Have a lot of stuff to talk about today. And again, I'm kind of watching the market fairly close. We got within a couple of points, I think, of that. Let's see here. Yeah, we got it. We got to Monday's low in the S&P cash. I don't do the futures, so when you listen to me, just know that I'm talking about the cash. The futures are far too thin and easily moved for me to be thinking they're fairly indicative of the market. I look at the cash. Anyway, we're about 10 points off the lows in the S&P cash. Volume could be about a billion, maybe 1.5 billion shares lighter than Monday. We'll have to see how the end of the day comes in. But so far, so good. Monday, of course, we come back. The 3rd is the end of the, that's Monday, is the end of the lunar holiday. So we'll have the Chinese markets back open. So you want to watch what happens in the overnight Sunday night options. So probably sleep real long. I hate to even think about watching some obnoxious football game Sunday night. I'm just not a participant in that. I'd rather play and be involved in something than sit around and watch sport events, but that's just me. Everybody else I know will be heavily involved in it. I will poke fun like those two old guys in the balcony in Sesame Street. Those are the guys that I aspire to be, right there. Just lobbing big ones at the little folk down below me. But anyway, after you get done with all that, of course, we're going to open up, and you're probably going to see some futures quotes over there and see how China is opening up. So keep that in mind. We are testing, and right now it would be on much lighter volume than Monday, the Monday's lows. And we may just be setting up for the lows that they are expecting on Monday coming back from China as, what would you call it? The hysteria? The hysteria of the virus is coming after us all. Ooh. I remember watching there were some horrible propaganda films, I don't know, 5-10 years ago about everything freezing. Remember we were worried about global warming? This one was about freezing, and the freezing would chase people around. I always thought that was a hoot. Somehow you could get to minus 400 degrees. But again, it wasn't even. The problem is, if you're going to mess up science, you probably ought to make the movie at least good too. But I don't know. The day after tomorrow, I remember South Park went after them and skewered them very much. But anyway. Anything else going on in the market other than, I think, retesting our Monday lows? The Baker Hughes rig count is out, down 4 in the U.S. to 790, up 3 rigs in Canada. So we're not really moving that much, but as the prices come down, rigs that cannot make money, of course, are taken off. So the best cure for a high price is a high price, and the best cure for a low price is a low price. I've been looking for somewhere around $50 as the low in crude, and we may be very close to that. In fact, I haven't looked at it in the last few minutes. Let's take a look at energy. 5104. I remember someone calling in and trying to talk me into thinking crude was going to bounce before this. I don't know how much is in it, but it is horrifically oversold. But that doesn't mean it can't get even more oversold. I see nothing out here that says it is quite bottomed yet. But my guess is that it will have a nice pop when it does. And maybe, we got started to the downside today when a school said that 600 kids had phoned in sick. And I wondered if that was because they were all getting everybody wanted to go off and watch the Super Bowl this weekend. But who knows? Yeah, maybe everybody just thought it was a good weekend to take off. Or maybe they're really sick. That's the problem. You really don't know. I know what most people will do, or a great gob of people. Hard to tell when people get panicky what they will do. Gold up a little bit. We're at 1589.60. Silver up to $18.02. That's up 3 and a bit. Or up 18 cents, excuse me. So it's kind of a quiet time out here. And, of course, I'd been waiting for this retest of the low going into fund buying Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And what we're really looking for is a nice bounce, a lot of volume, tell us that everything's over. If we get into Wednesday and Thursday and the market has not been able to rally to then, that's probably when to panic. But we shall need. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always leave a message for me in the den. And what else is there to do but do a little bit of history?
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1950, President Harry Truman publicly announces his decision to support the development of the hydrogen bomb, a weapon theorized to be 100 times more powerful than the atomic bombs dropped on Japan during World War II. And, of course, 2 years later, they actually tested the first one. It was about 10 times more than they thought it was going to be. The first proper, really hydrogen bomb that blew up had more power than every bomb ever dropped, including the 2 nuclear weapons dropped on Japan. And, of course, we had a lot of communists involved in the development of the nuclear weapons in the Manhattan Project. They all thought that the Russians were great and we were horrible. And guess what? We got a lot of people today that think communism is great and democracy is horrible. Nothing really seems to change. Be back in a minute.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're back. Amgen, we're going to go through as many of these earnings and news movements as we can. Amgen down to support. If you wanted to buy it, there it is. Volume is up a little. Of course, the big news of last night was Amazon going back up to the previous high, exceeding it by about $5 today. Does have a lot of decent volume. Any close below 2035 would suggest that you could pull back to 1950. AON, which is Aon Corporation, nice pop on this one, a little higher, not much in the way of volume, but still holding its highs. From the people that brought you Mr. Snowden, Booz Allen popped to 82 early in the morning, and pretty much retraced to where it's at. BERY, which is Berry's Plastic. And if the engineer is awake, can you just send me a message in the Slack? Anyway, Berry Plastics, BERY, and I guess maybe these guys watched a lot of okay, he says I'm not in there at all, although I see myself in there, so we shall see. Have I given it up on? Nope, I'm in it. You're not. Okay. Let's try this again. I'm in here and I'm talking to other folks. So I'm assuming it's on your side, guys. Berry Plastics back down into the 21st, up on the 21st, excuse me, on 4.5 million shares, back on 2.9 today. So you're back into that with a little lighter volume, but that may be enough come by the end of the day. BZH, which is Beazer Homes, big disappointment on this one. Basically taking out everything back to September for trading. And pretty nasty candle, lots of volume. But you had to know that it was eventually going to correct some way. Pretty bad day, though, for Beazer to miss. Caterpillar down a little bit, not horribly, but it's somewhere around support. And what else do we have? Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Celanese Corporation, CE, set up for the retest of 94.73. That's the May 31st low of last year. Down volumes kind of picking up a little bit, but that one's kind of light and variable. And what else do we have? Charter Communications, nice pop here today on the 31st. I can't do anything about it. I've been able to talk in 3 other rooms in Skype for the engineer, so it's working well on my side. You may want to reset it on your side. Okay. Okay. Charter Communications back up through the highs. That's the 15th and the 23rd. And see what else. That's pretty good. And so you were looking for about 1.2 million. You got it about that right now. So Charter Communications not looking bad on a fairly bad day. Looks like a valid breakout. Colgate, Palmolive, always fairly strong in times of weakness. People want stuff that people are going to buy. It is getting increasingly hard, though, to sell this stuff in retail stores. And, you've got P&G? Procter & Gamble fighting for store shelf space. But a good day, lots of volume, wasn't able to hold the high of September 1st or 5th. Okay. Well, we could certainly see a low in the next, either by the end of the day or Monday, but we shall see. Got fun money coming in on Monday, and we all know how they love to buy lows in the market since they so seldomly get to. CVX, Chevron is back to this big gap. That gap higher goes back to the 4th of, actually the January 4th of last year. So what are we on to? A little bit more than a year that we filled that gap. There wasn't a lot of volume. There was a lot of volume off the lows back in those times. But again, I don't see a lot changing in the energy sector at the moment. We'd have to have something else happen. And I don't see that at the moment. Decker's Outdoor Corporation, DECK, valid breakout today with volume. So there's always a bull market somewhere. And is this the shoe company? Pretty sure this is the shoe company. Okay. All right. Yeah, footwear, apparel, and deck. I have to question myself sometimes. Valid breakout, though, for the tennis shoe company, up to 199.31. Certainly would think that you'd want it to retest about 180 from that July 1st high and then catch the next move higher. Electronic Arts down a little bit on earnings. I haven't seen anything new going on down here today, but you do have a little bit of a break in this. EW, what do we have? Edward Life Sciences opened up much higher, is much lower today. And again, it's wiped out a lot of stuff. Had to sneeze there. So, yeah, I mean, pretty bearish candle in anybody's book on Edwards Life Sciences, FICO, which is Fair Isaac. They're into credit card processing, if I remember correctly. These people have broken out, but never had a sign of strength, kind of pulling back a little bit today to a little gap up on the 9th, but nothing in that I ever thought was all that exciting. Gentex, we'll come back in a minute, but Gentex down a little bit, no volume on that one. It's not a rocket either. Got lots of stocks to go through yet today, and then we'll be with Tom O'Brien at 3:30 for the end of the day.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And let's see what else we have going on here. Oh, we're just going through this. Gentex didn't have much. Let's take a look at the market. Already in progress. 32.30 on the S&P cash. We're looking at that 32.22, which is the low from Monday that we're all over. Crude oil down $51.25. NASDAQ down 127. Dow off 560. The only thing I can say is you see the Dow's down 750. Every single time we've seen that since, 2016 has been a buy signal. Kind Okay, we're going to go to Roy in Houston. Let's go ahead and talk to him. How you doing today, Roy?
Not too bad. How are you today, Dave?
Fantastic.
Yeah, listen, so on Larry's show today, he had Tom Hogarth on there, and he was saying that if you closed on a Friday, close lower than Thursday, you had a 95% chance of lower on Monday. What do you think of that?
Oh, I wouldn't say that it is that good of an edge, but it is. I think you have a lot better opportunity looking at the futures from China on Sunday night and getting a read on Monday morning than you do today. But
and when you think that the Chinese are going to be going lower since they've been closed for a week with all this mess going on?
Oh, yeah, it's going to open up lower. The question is, generally, when that settles, is that it, right?
Right.
And so you'll have to watch it in the morning. I don't see anything that's really changed here in the United States that much. Earnings have been good and bad in some stocks, but I already thought it was going to be more of a stock picking market than just up, and away for the rest of the year. So, I was short going into last week and basically into these lows that we're just testing now. So I've been able to kind of look from the outside in, not having a position, already making all my money. I guess maybe I could have tried for a double dip, but who knows that some school is going to close and send 2,000 kids home. I mean, you can't predict that in the stock market, probably not in the charts either. I was hoping all week, if you listen to the show, that we'd get this retest of the low on light volume. So the only thing we have now is to really look and see whether or not we have that light volume at the close.
Yeah, okay.
So to me, I don't know if I've got any kind of signal here that says pull the trigger now, but you get into 8 o'clock Monday morning and, things are looking rather desperate. I'd probably start looking at buying some options or some other way of controlled risk, but searching for a bottom. But every 700 points down on the Dow has always been, for 4 straight years, has always been a low. And just about everything I'm looking at signals of a low right in here. So we got a couple of days. Maybe it's Monday, maybe it's Tuesday, maybe it's at the close today. But I don't think it's anything that you need to rush on. I think we've had a fairly decent pullback. And, we could just find out that this generally when you're all ready for something and everybody's looking at it, it's like a hurricane. If everybody tells you it's going to hit, you probably ought to just sit down because it's going somewhere else. If they tell you a day before that it's going to hit Tampa, I will be leaving. But when they tell me 7 days out it's going to hit Tampa, I just kind of snooze and go, okay, that means it's not going to hit Tampa because it rarely, probably 90% chance it doesn't. So that's why I'm going to say not spend too much time today thinking about it. Just have a good weekend. Maybe you have to buy a little higher on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or something out here, but we're probably going to have some kind of decent washout in the markets as long as the volume's low at the close today. So I kind of like it. Could it go a little lower on Monday morning? It certainly could. Is it going to go that much lower? Probably not. But again, why risk it? Just get in Sunday night and take a look and see how the futures are doing. Watch it start to move, and then you can make your decision Monday morning. Even if we're up 10 or 20 points on the S&P cash, there's still a lot of meat on the bone if we start moving up higher from here.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I'm a new subscriber, so I'll just stand by, wait for the newsletter.
Yep, that's about it. Anyway, you have a good weekend, as everybody else. Well, we're up a little bit here. 32.38 is what I'm showing on the last tick. Hawaiian Holdings, thanks for the call. Hawaiian Holdings, a little bit of a bounce in that airline company. Honeywell down a little bit. And again, somebody else is asking me, all I'm saying is that maybe you get into a nice bounce midweek and then you fail And those would be some extremely bearish signals. So I don't think that there's any reason to be praising heaven or hell today, either one. I think there's going to be a big fastball down the middle of the plate, either bullish or bearish next week. And you know what? You can start off a little base hit maybe Monday and Tuesday and then see how it works out. If it goes against you, then you're probably looking at some downside action come Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday. But, yeah, we've kind of come off. All the news is in. Generally, you get it all in, and then everybody looks at the news come Monday after watching the Super Bowl, and maybe it's not as bad as everybody thinks. Okay. Can you look at DUST, D-U-S-T? Certainly, I looked at it a little earlier. I can see it. The problem is if we have somebody yelling fire again Monday morning, but I'm right on the edge. Another retest of 530 on something like 5 million shares. We're down on 8 million shares, but you get a very, very light test of 530, which is what you're looking at here on next to no volume. But yeah, this thing is a powder keg, and people are wandering around it with sparklers. So, yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens in this one. But, I mean, the risk reward on this is pretty good. 530 and below, you're wrong. What else do we have? ITW. We had two people looking at DUST. It's filling up the entire front window. But is there a signal yet? No, and that is the difference between speculation and gambling. You wait for the signal for speculation. In Illinois, Toolworks, nothing in that, although it did have earnings. Nice big bearish candle out here on Johnson Controls. Volume, though, fairly light so far. What else do we have? J-out, J-O-U-T. Popped higher, a valid breakout. Volume's fairly good. It's pulling back to support, which is this big pop-up from the, December 6th. We'll be back in a minute. We'll look at all these movers as much as we can before the show is over. We'll be back with Tom O'Brien at 3:30. Interesting stuff.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get a competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Other earnings of note, KKR, a nice pop to 32.01, which is January, today's high, but goes back to the 22nd. You had 3.2 million shares there. You got 6 million shares today. Interesting. LEVI, I think I know what LEVI is. It's Levi's. Always was wondering why these guys went public at all. Of course, there's a lot of reasons to go public, but number one is to cash out, or the second one is to raise cash to expand your business. This one was pretty much plainly the first. MAN, Manpower Group, had a nice pop today, gave it all back down to 91.40. MATW, you went all the way back down on this one and tested back to the November 18th lows, but still holding at 38. PFPT, which is Proof Point. I can do a lot of P's here. PPPPP. Symbol is PFPT. And, of course, that's enough to challenge any pop filter on a microphone. Down a little bit. I don't see anything in this. Energy is about the same on the way up and way down. Phillips, 66. Again, not a lot out here saying that anything's really rocking in the energy business. Still think maybe we get to see that $50 low come Monday morning or so, or maybe Sunday night. In crude, and that may be where we start seeing at least some psychological level of support. Robert Half International down fairly heavy. I think this is the same company that now owns all the stereo equipment businesses. Am I wrong on that? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and look at this. Not a lot of people buying stereos anymore. No. Staff and risk consulting services in North America and South America. Company operates temporary and consulting staffing. Glad I looked that up. I wonder what the other one I'm thinking about is. Anyway, not a lot of consulting, and apparently not a lot of people going to work to catch the norovirus or whatever it is, a coronavirus. And I wonder if the people are ready to sue the beer maker on the coronavirus. Yeah, remember they used to have these things that were not dietetic things for your diet. I remember my mom used to have them. They were called AIDS, and that was great right into the point where AIDS came along and pretty much wiped out the company. What can you say? The gold fields. You got a fairly nice pattern, and yes, Mike. This is the definition of a good double repo pattern. Your close today does have volume, and that's what you're looking for. 10 to 20 days above the 3x3 displaced moving average is a few days below it, and then the first close below it is the one that you look at for pulling the trigger short. Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Okay. Well, you went higher, went lower. Well, it's just some ugly candles out there. WDC. I'd probably be short going into Monday if it wasn't fun buying. But my guess is that there are going to be a lot of people in the funds going, at least they didn't mark it up again this month all the time. I'm sure a lot of people will be piling in short. But a lot of times you get that really fast flash move in the market, and then that's all she wrote. Western Digital, of course, I've been waiting for this one for a while. And again, you get this is a good demonstration of you get a few days above, a few days below, and then the thing kind of craps out. Support's right around 64, so it's not that big a deal. Volume is okay, but not fantastic. Weyerhaeuser, again, fairly bearish move here in the real estate, but all those real estate stocks are kind of looking fairly poor today. Down fairly strongly, and of course, you're back to late October on Weyerhaeuser. So a lot of people are on the wrong side of this one. As they say, there's no bull market or bear market, just the right side of the market. And we know that they're on the wrong side of the market if they bought all the way back from late October. What else do we have? We're bigger than U.S. Steel. United States Steel, a little bit going on there. ExxonMobil down fairly strongly. You are through that December 26th low at 62.44. Now, it had 25 million shares. You already have 22. So you've got to kind of look at that thinking, well, that's not good. But again, it's not blowout yet. We have to wait for the end of the day. But if the volume kind of dries up and gets back above that 62.44, that's probably a fairly decent washout. Now, that doesn't mean buy it right away, but if it can consolidate out sideways, this last move from $75 down to today's low wasn't that horrible. But volume's been strong on the way down. But at the same time, these companies don't give it all up at once. With 2 minutes to go, we're going to go to the emails and a quick look at Microsoft, MSFT. Again, what you don't want this thing doing in the next couple of days is closing below the 3x3. Still holding up very nicely. 23 million shares so far compared to the 51 million shares on the upside yesterday. Checking in with Mr. Tesla. And do you get a free coronavirus with every Tesla these days from China? Who knows? Literally nothing on this that says you can do anything wrong. But as we said, give this thing about 3 days. I don't have any big signals, but you get about 3 days above here, about what am I going to call that? Maybe 560. Wouldn't be a big thing for this to come back and fill that gap. But I would love to see this thing gap up. Where is this? I would love to see the Tesla gap up on Monday or Tuesday, and maybe even Wednesday next week, and that would be a 3-gap play going back to the bigger ones. Hang on a second. And that would be a big one. You've got 1, you've got the 2 here. You get 1 more next week. That would be it, and you could see a return all the way to $300. No confirmation on that, by the way. We'll be back. 1 segment left. You got plenty of time to call me at 877-927-6648. And, of course, we'll be with Tom O'Brien at 3:30 for Tech Insider Half Hour. The hour of half hour.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're back. Yeah, so we're off 52 points. Let me update this to make sure. I always wonder, 52. We're down 52 points on the S&P cash. We'll check in for a volume, about 5.5 billion shares with 1 hour left to go. I think we needed about 9 billion shares to really signal that we were going to blow out Monday's lows. Really not getting that. So at least probably some level of support going into Monday morning. We get some reads from China. From what I've read, the markets will be opening up. They were supposed to actually open up today, and I think a lot of the downside was that they never got them open. So we'll look at them opening them up on Sunday night now and opening. And once you get that initial movement down, and you wash out the weak hands, generally the governments will step in and try to stabilize the market for a little bit. And that may be all we need to find some kind of bounce. And again, maybe we bounce and this kind of all fades by the end of next week. The opposite side of that is it gets worse. And after a bounce, we set up for breaking the lows. But tomorrow will be next week will be a very interesting week nonetheless. course, everybody thinking about going to other things like the big game over the weekend. But now you're going to have a lot of signals and a lot of different stocks. But, we need to settle out, maybe consolidate a lot of these big moves that we've had before. The pullback here is probably just the start of a lot of chop this year. As we spoke earlier, last week and this week, of course, that rule of alternation, if you go up smoothly, then you get a fairly amount of chop on the way back down. So when you can, not when you have to, and we will see you here Monday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Same bat channel, same bat time.